saltfish. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you guys how to make Escovitch saltfish. That's a Jamaican treat. So pretty much we start out with some, well, this is salted pullock. You can use salted codfish also, but you should be able to get this at your regular meat store. Everyone pretty much sell these things. But yeah, so it's salted pullock, and I got pretty much about a half pound right here, I would say. Two nice pieces, and so they're salted. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and boil the salt out of it, because you don't want it to be all salty and stuff when you're eating it. So we want to try to boil as much of the salt out as possible, as the first step. So what I'm gonna do is I already have the fish here, and this is what it comes like this, has the scales and all on there still. So what you'll do is you'll boil it, and I'll show you how to remove all that stuff and get it ready to be fried. Okay, so what we want to do is we'll just go ahead and add some water, and I usually just pour just enough to be able to cover the fish, because we're gonna actually repeat this process 2 to 3 times, because you do that in order to get all that salt out. Because remember, they pretty much salted it. That's how it acts as a preservative, I should say. Sorry. So in order to get all that salt back out, it's recommended to boil it at least 2 to 3 times to remove that salt, and we'll do that for at least 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes every time. So we're gonna take this, go straight to the fire, and I'm gonna bring that to a boil. And once that start boiling, I'll let it run for about 10 minutes. All right, guys. So the salt fish is ready to be cleaned now. Mine's has been boiling. I boiled it at least 3 times already, so it's ready to be clean. So I told you guys how to get that scale off the back. You just pretty much can just use a little knife, and you scrape it right off. You can scrape it, it comes right off. And it's easier to take it off after it's been cooked, because then it gets all soft, and as you see, it slides right off. And you just want to scrape that right off. As you do not want to try to cook this with the scales on it. It's just not going to be right. So after I do that, I like to get just a few of the bones out, because we're going to be frying this, but also not too much. The bones is what kind of keeps it, the structure of it, so it don't fall apart too much while frying. So that's all cleaned up, got all that scale off. So that piece is ready. So just rest that over there. Now repeat the process for the next piece. So like I said, you just take a knife and just softly clean it up. Now, of course, this has been sitting in some cold water, so that stop the cooking process, and you're able to handle it a little bit better. Yeah. So again, after you boil this saltfish, you want to throw that water off, and you want to fill it with cold water. Like I said, that stops the cooking process and makes it where you're able to handle it without getting burned. Okay, so all this scale is pretty much cleaned up off this piece. Like I say, you don't want to take too much of the bones out, because it's going to be deep fried, so you want to kind of make sure, like I said, the bone kind of holds the structure. So I'll just get a couple of these out. And this right here should be good. Now the biggest thing is, really, you don't have to really take any of the bones out, because while eating it, as a part of the experience, you can take the bones out then. But the biggest thing right now is just to get the scales off the back. And those are ready. We're gonna go ahead and season those, and then we're gonna deep fry them. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of seasoning to this. This seasoning blend that I have here is just for seafood, and it has very minimal salt in it, due to the fact that the saltfish still contains a bit of salt. You don't want this thing to be too salty, so it's always good too after boiling the saltfish to kind of test it. Break a little piece off and try it, see if it's too salty, or if it's at a good state wherein you can add seasoning to it, because you don't want it to still be salty and then you go ahead and add a bunch of seasoning with salt to it. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of this seasoning. Now this is just a personal mix of mine. You can use whatever seafood seasonings that you guys like to use at home. Okay, and I'm gonna flip these over and get the back side also. Very light with the seasoning, don't sprinkle too much on it. All right, that looks about good. And this, now we're gonna get ready to drop these in the oil, which I already have some oil over here that's already hot. So we're gonna go straight into the oil with these. Well, these fry up pretty quickly. They don't take long, so I wanna say you're gonna fry them probably about 2 minutes on each side. Put these in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to flip these over. Like I say, you don't want to fry them for too long. Just real quick on each side. About 2 minutes on each side should be good. Escovitch saltfish is usually enjoyed, while people are drinking and stuff like that. Something that kind of sobers you back up a little bit, but it's an old treat that we all come to like. But something I've come to like. It's just a nice little snack. My wife loves it also. All right, so we're gonna get ready to take these out in a second. I got a little plate over here with a piece of napkin on it. I'll go ahead and drain some of that oil off. I'm putting it on the plate right here with some napkin. Get the other piece out. Try to drain a little bit of the oil off. Alright. So that's what that looks like. Okay. a paper towel just to kind of get some of that extra oil off of it. We're gonna go ahead and remove this to the plate itself. You can go ahead and take a paper towel and kind of drop some of that oil off of it. All right. So now, the Escovitch sauce that I showed you all how to make, we're gonna put some on top of this. And that's what's gonna provide that spice and that tang that makes it Escovitch sawfish. All right, here goes that mix that we made. Oh man, that smells amazing. All the onions and stuff have been sitting, and carrots. Yeah. So we're gonna get a little bit of everything out of here. And we're gonna just go ahead and put that directly on top of the sawfish. That's just about good right there. And you can put as much as you want. It's, you know, some people like to eat a lot of this stuff. Some people just like a little bit. I think there is enough. And we'll go ahead and put a little bit of that juice over it as well. Vinegar. So we go ahead and just get just a little bit. Not too much because you don't want the sawfish to be too soggy. So it's a couple teaspoons on top still, so the sawfish can absorb up that vinegar flavor. And there you have it, guys. Escovitch sawfish done my way. Normally, you just go right in here. Break a little piece of that off. See, that's all. And this is still hot. That little piece of that onion. I remember this is spicy. So you enjoy that with a little piece of the carrot. That's Escovitch sawfish. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.